up. Our next speaker is from Ghana, and his name is Nana Yaw Osei Darkwa, who is the conveyor and founder of the Green Republic. Can we please welcome Nana Yaw to give us his presentation?
Thank you very much, Michelle. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, it's indeed a great honor to be here with us all to talk about the challenging moments of our time. Climate change has become a very topical issue, and the need for landscape restoration even more important. But for us at the Green Republic Project, we have defined climate change as a battle between humanity and nature. That is how simple we have made it. Because most often than not, we restrict these discussions to jargons and academia, and then we leave out a large chunk of our people. And in building movements, we cannot build movements with only intellectuals or only the academia. And so what we are saying is this, that climate change is a form of war that we have to fight as humans. But this war has come about because of our irresponsible attitudes, our actions and inactions. And for that matter, it is time for us to start a reconciliation process between humanity and nature. The sad aspect of it is this, that nature is there for our good, and yet we have over the centuries acted violently towards nature, and nature says, I ain't going to take it no more. Nature is rebelling against us, and we are all paying the consequences of it. In Ghana, it hardly rains in October. But we've had rains non-stop, day after day. It rains sometimes a week in a row in October. And when people needed the rains to farm, to do their agricultural stuff, no rains. And so nature is telling us something, that folks, it's about time you reconcile with me so we live peacefully together. And so that's what the Green Republic is all about. To do this, we are mobilizing a mass movement of young people. And again, as the other speaker said, we cannot win this war without the youth. Indeed, the youth must be in the forefront of this battle. And even though battles are fought to be won or lost, we humans cannot afford to lose this particular battle. Because if we lose this battle, it's going to lead to the extinction of the human race. And so we have no choice. We can only win this war. To do this, on 25th of May last year, we decided that we were going to gather this mass mobilization of young Ghanaians to begin this reconciliation process, focusing on tree planting, because we believe that trees have an essential role to play in the climate fight as a natural remedy. And so we were in Tamale, in the northern part of Ghana, where we thought that the need for us to plant trees there is greater because of its closeness to the Sahel regions. And on the 1st of July, we started that reconciliation process. We started that reconciliation process by engaging young people from secondary schools and colleges in Tamale to plant 3,500 trees in a village called Young Dakwemyeli. This was action-focused. It had nothing to do with talk. We had to go straight into action to ensure that what we do today will reflect the tomorrow we want to see. That same year, 2 weeks from the 1st of July, we again, in the Mion district of the northern region, in a community called Sang, planted 4,500 trees. And this was by young people. We think that this war is for every one of us. Black, white, green, blue, Muslim, Christian, traditionalist, whoever you are, you need to enlist in this war as a climate soldier. And so we are offering a platform for us to take action and reduce the talk. As part of our strategy, we have not left everybody out. In communities that we go first to the traditional authorities as custodians of the land and people who appreciate the customs and traditions of our communities. As custodians of land, we cannot win the climate fight without engaging our traditional authorities, because they have the land. In Ghana, they are the ones who have the lands and not government. And so we need to engage them, and we engage them, and we have lands released to us for us to do this. We have a target of planting 20 million trees in the next 10 years. That is what we believe we can contribute to the climate fight. But to make it a bigger movement, we have been knocking on the doors of government for the past 2 months, calling for a national tree planting day, because we cannot succeed with piecemeal approaches. We have to be radical in the way we address this thing. We have to be very creative in the way we go about it. I see representatives of the great king of Ashanti, Otumfuo Osei II, represented here, the Queen Mother of Uganda and other Queen Mothers from Ghana. I know that the great king has a mission of planting about 100 million trees. I know that the king of Achim Ebuakwa, Osajifo Amweti of Oripenin, also wants to plant about 20 million trees. The Green Republic Project wants to plant 20 million trees in the next 10 years. I've spoken to some mayors who also want to plant 100,000 trees in the cities, around the country. What we are saying at the Green Republic Project is this: we have to be creative, else this fight is getting nowhere. And so we're saying, and humbly calling on the leadership of African countries, that we start observing national tree planting days in our respective countries. In Ghana, we are close to 30 million people. If we have a day, it should not be a holiday. The first Saturday, for instance, in July every year is the rainy season in Ghana. If from the president to the ordinary Ghanaian, we move out and say that this is our common fight, we are going out on this day, each Ghanaian should plant a tree. If we go out there from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. that day, and even only 2 million Ghanaians come out and each plants 3 trees, just 3 trees, how many trees would we have planted in a single day? Not even a day, in about 4 hours. And we keep knocking on the doors of the state, wanting this to be done. And I would like to call on all leaders here that the climate fight is not one that can be won with lip service. It is about time we got real. It's about the time the church, for instance, gets involved. We've had the privilege of working with the Church of Pentecost, for instance, in Tema, where I had the opportunity to preach. I'm not a preacher man, but that day I had the privilege of speaking to the church. And I told them, I am a Christian too. My Bible tells me that we need to take dominion over the earth and replenish the earth and subdue it. And yet what we have done is to watch on for the beautiful things that God created destroyed. And we are active members in that destruction. And so what is the church doing about holding that sacred promise that we claim to have from our Maker? What is our role? Are we only armchair Christians warming the pews in our churches? The time has come for all of us to rise up and take common action. What does it take to plant a tree, for instance? We are focusing on trees. What does it take to plant a tree? And that's why we need this national tree planting days in Africa. And I hope that we'll all take it along and make our respective countries and continents and the world at large green again. I'll end by saying that we can only win the climate war by reconciling humanity with nature through restoration. Yes. Before I go, To every movement, there should be a theme song. And I agree with a young lady, DJ Swish, for saying that without a theme song, it's difficult to sometimes overcome challenges. And so, as a nonviolent activist and a certified trainer in nonviolence, I see this as a form of war that we are supposed to win by reconciling. And so I want us to sing the We Shall Overcome song to motivate us as humans to say that we shall overcome. I'll crave your indulgence to be up, and I'll be the choir master here.
Can I be your chorus?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Can we please be upstanding to give him
know the
support
song,
to us? This song, please.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Thank you all. God bless you.
Nana Yaw, what a powerful and hair-raising speech you made this afternoon. I think that most of us were moved by his passionate speech and his movement of creating change from the grassroots and restoring nature from what we have done to it. I mean, I could not have given such a powerful speech, so but let's please give him another big round of applause. I think he deserves it. Flawless, and this is the real action leader that we need in Ghana. We need more of you, Nana Yaw, so thank you very much for taking the lead, and I think we've been inspired by your speech.